my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we're covering Carbink. Carbink is definitely an underrated Pokemon in my opinion. I mean, it has base 50 HP, but it does also have two really high base defenses, base 150 in each of them, meaning it can live a lot of hits. It also gets access to things like Body Press, taking advantage of a massive 150 base defense stat. Whilst it doesn't get stabbed, it hits super hard. Also, Rock Fairy is a pretty cool typing. I really like it. I think they're two really nice stabs to have. It gives you a fair amount of coverage on some different Pokemon. Before we get started today, if you scroll down, click that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't done so already. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. Okay, so today we have got 4 sets. The first set being an Iron Defense Body Press set. Now, Iron Defense and Body Press combined together is a very nice set. So Iron Defense allows you to double, then triple, then quadruple your defense stats. So you've got 438 here, you double that to 876 just from one Iron Defense, and then you use Body Press, and that is going to hit a lot of Pokemon for a lot of damage. It is going to hit incredibly hard. The only issue is that you are going to have to take some hits, and that's why I put the leftovers on here to allow you to heal yourself up in scenarios. In the worst case scenario, you could potentially go like Custard Berry and then take advantage of the Sturdy ability there, which will take you down to your 1 HP, activate your Berry, and then cause that to happen. You could also go for Clear Body. Now, there aren't many moves that lower down the defense that are used quite commonly. I think Crunch is probably the only one off the top of my head. But there aren't that many moves that have like a high chance to lower the defense, and lowering the defense is quite a quirky thing in the first place. So having that happen would be a bit weird in this scenario, and you don't really need your attack unless you're going for Stone Edges, which Clear Body could work, but I think Sturdy works slightly better in this scenario. It's slightly, minutely better. They're both relatively on par, really. But yeah, Iron Defense Body Press combines together really nicely. Also makes you a very difficult wall to get rid of, especially if that team is running a lot of offense rather than, or physical offense rather than special offense. And then we have Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks is obviously a fantastic move as well. It allows you to set up hazards. It can break things like Focus Sashes. The only thing that's really an issue is Heavy Juicy Boots, but we know that a lot of flying type Pokemon will use those nowadays just to maintain their health as much as possible. But that Stealth Rock is still going to limit the amount of switches that your opponent is going to go for. It's going to minimize the amount of switches that they can go for, really, because it means that all Pokemon are going to be taking damage. You don't want to take that damage, especially if you've got like a significant amount of damage happening. And also if a Pokemon's low and he switches out, well, they switch out, sorry, you could potentially have a scenario where they just come in and die on the Stealth Rocks, which could give them an upper hand, could give them a free switch, but at the same time they have just let a Pokemon go down, so Stealth Rocks can be really handy in that respect. And then finally I've gone for Stone Edge here. Stone Edge is just a strong stab rock type attack. It does have the chance to miss though, so just to be a little bit cautious of that. But I thought Stone Edge works quite nicely just as another coverage move. Body Press hits most different things, and then Stone Edge will probably hit the majority of other things that it doesn't hit. So it hits flying types, super effective damage, which Body Press doesn't hit. Body Press doesn't hit psychic types or fairy types, but the Stone Edge hits them for neutral. And Ghost types, obviously Stone Edge hits them for neutral as well. Obviously there's going to be a few types of Pokemon combinations that are going to be difficult to get through with this set, but if you're in Draft League you would just plan for that, or you would just have other members on your team that would definitely be able to deal with those combinations. So EVs here, max HP, max defense with an impish nature, so more defense, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. This allows you to be as defensive as possible to get that real high increase in your Iron Defense, meaning you're going to take next to no damage on your defensive side, especially if you combine that with a Will-O-Wisp user. That would work really well for you, but then you've got the Body Press obviously doing that large amount of damage at that point, and leftovers allowing you to heal off that little bit every single turn. Okay, moving on to the second Carbink I have. I've got a Light Clay Carbink here, and I've gone for Clear Body is the ability. You don't have to go Clear Body. You could go for the Sturdy again if you wanted to. That would definitely work to allow you to definitely get one screen up. But the Light Clay extends the screen turns from 5 to 8. So we have 8 turns of Reflect or Light Screen, whichever one you set up first. And obviously you want to set up the one which is going to be the better of the two first. So if you're facing against a especially offensive Pokemon, you might want to go for that Light Screen. If your opponent has I don't know, 4 or 5 physical sweepers, you're probably going to want to put that reflect up first. So that would definitely help in that respect. Then I put Stealth Rocks on here again. I've already explained that, but Stealth Rocks really lends itself to this set anyways. And then finally Moonblast, just for a damaging move. If you wanted to put Toxic on and not have an attacking move, that is a possibility. I personally feel that you do need an attacking move on any Pokemon, but you could go for Toxic. It is transfer only, so you have to transfer it and not need the Battle Ready symbol. But that Moonblast allows you to do damage, or the Toxic allows you to rack up damage, but just won't be able to touch Steel types or Poison types, which obviously if you're in a one-on-one situation, that could go pretty bad. Whereas the Moonblast, whilst it's not very effective against those, it does hit them for a little bit of damage rather than no damage at all. EVs on this one, there's 2 ways of running it. Max HP, max special defense with the calm nature, so more special defense, less attack, or max HP, max defense with bold nature, so more defense, less attack. And then probably 4 EVs in special attack. That just allows for you to be really bulky on one side, depending on what your team is already looking like. If you already have a bulky defensive Pokemon, go specially defensive. If you already have a bulky specially defensive Pokemon, then go defensive. That was the best way that it would probably work out for your team. Moving on to the third Carbink, I have got a Calm Mindset with Life Orb. Now you don't have to have Life Orb by any means, you could go for Leftovers if you wanted to, and then gone for Sturdy is the ability. Again, Clear Body could definitely work here, just in case you're getting the special attack lowered from like things like, I think it's Max Flutterbys, so the Max Bug move. I think that lowers the special attack if I remember correctly, so the Clear Body could have that. I'm not 100% sure if it stops the removal from Dynamax. You'd have to research that one because I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, because that's just something that's popped in. But yeah, just typically if someone's using attacks or special attacks that will lower your special attack, that could be helpful. Calm Mind allows you to increase up your special attack and your special defense by 1 stage each time you use it. It can be very helpful, obviously giving you a much larger special attack stat, which is quite low even at its maximum, and also giving you a higher special defense stat, meaning you're living those special moves more often. You've then got Moonblast, your powerful stab fairy type attack. It's a lot of different Pokemon. Power Gem, which is a powerful stab rock type attack. Again, 100% accurate, which is very uncommon for rock type moves. And it hits pretty hard. And finally gone for Earth Power. That hits things like Steel types, which are your main weakness. They're obviously a really big weakness here. You could go for like a Berry as an item if you wanted to reduce any damage from a Steel type attack, because that could definitely help you. But other than that, weakness wise, I don't think you have as much to worry about, because you hit neutral on I think all other weaknesses that you have. EVs, there are several ways to run this. You could run this as max HP, max defense with a bold nature, so more defense, less attack, and that would allow you to be really defensive on the physical front. And then when you're setting up your Calm Minds, it allows you to be more defensive on the special front, so you become very tanky. And with that, increasing up your special attack, it allows you to start hitting harder as well. But you also could run it as max HP, max special defense, to just be a really specially defensive wall with those Calm Mind setups, or you could run it as max HP, max special attack with a modest nature, so increasing up that special attack and lowering down that attack. So definitely possibilities for you to run in those scenarios. Moving on to the final Carbink. I've gone for a Dynamax set. On here I've put Choice Band. You don't have to run Choice Band. You can run Life Orb, Leftovers, any assortment of berries, red cards. Lots and lots of different items are possible here. I've gone for the Clear Body just so you don't lower down, your stats aren't lowered down afterwards, because obviously if you've just taken that time to set up, you don't really want that to happen. But you could definitely go for the Sturdy as well if you're thinking there's going to be a specific situation you need it. We've got move-wise, Body Press, powerful fighting type attack, which turns to max knuckle, increasing up your attack stat. Obviously goes on the defensive stat, and this can combine really nicely with the Gyro Ball, which turns to max Steel Spike, increasing up your defense by 1 stat each time you do it. So for example, if you Dynamax did 3 Gyro Balls as max Steel Spike, that would give you a +3 in your defense, taking you to about over 800 in your defense stat. So then Body Press again will just do a lot of damage. But you also have Stomping Tantrum, which can turn to Max Quake, increasing up your special defense stat. Sorry, I had a complete mind blank there. And yeah, getting that special defense stat increased. And then you've got Rock Slide to allow you to set up Sandstorm. Sandstorm can be really handy. It gets chip damage on different Pokemon. And if you have like a Sand Rush or Sand Force user in the back, that would definitely be helpful for them as well. So that Rock Slide to set up any Sandstorms. Overall, these 4 moves kind of have quite nice synergy together. It allows you to set up your stats as well as setting up one of the weathers, which could be really helpful for your team. Choice Band, if you didn't know, is not activated when you're Dynamax, so you're not limited to a move, but you don't get the plus or the 1.5 from that Choice Band. If you want to go for any other items, as I said, you can go for those. But Choice Band could work quite nicely. Just depends on what you're planning on doing after you're out of Dynamax, and what your matchup you're expecting to be. EV-wise, gone for max HP, max attack with an a brave nature, so more attack, less speed, and that allows for you to have the maximum attack, but also gives you the opportunity to be as slow as possible to get that gyro ball to be a little bit more powerful. Especially if you've got Pokemon that are like base 60, base 70, which don't have the speed investment, that gives you just that little bit more damage. And also, if you wanted to try and set up a Trick Room scenario, you definitely could do that as well. If you wanted to, you could go max HP, max defense with a relaxed nature, so more defense, less speed, and that would allow for you to hit really hard with the body press, again, having that extra power with the gyro ball if you need it for any scenarios. Anyways, that is all for today, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.